How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another quant update. As assumed from down here at my first targeted bearish target, we were assuming that it was going to reverse, start heading back up. Now, in my previous videos, I was actually saying this is where I'm expecting it to roll over from. But if you do follow me and actually tune into my Bitcoin updates, I'll just briefly go over it. Basically, it's coming into the 200 EMA. And if that's broken, it's going to get a further push up. It's just naturally going to drag all the altcoins. So that would then mean Quant is actually going to break through the 20, recover 81 and 85, and pump all the way right up into 89 to 94. This wouldn't be good enough to completely shift the trend, although you would say now that it's recovered this, rejecting this area of resistance should just dump into this area and be used as support, as a pivot point to continue higher. For me personally, 96 to 112 remains the key level I need to see reclaimed in order to get a little bit excited. But ultimately, it's all about 155. Breaking 155 targets the previous all-time high. So between 300 and 440. You all want to see that all-time high, of course. A lot of steps before that's the case. Remember, it's all about 155. How does it get up to 155? Just like this, so it needs to it just naturally needs to reject the moving averages, but it just can't have long-term consequences. You want short-term reaction, and then of course, now that this is recovered, at that point getting up there would have been recovered, that needs to hold a support to run up into it. It's the last lower high, as you can see. So like I was warning on this way up, that's where it's going to struggled at exactly that level, 112. So you can see it did manage to push through the moving averages. So you'd say, oh, it's bullish, right? It's not only about the moving averages. So yeah, if you see it recovered here, the moving averages, everyone's going to get excited. But it's about the last high. So although the moving averages were recovered here in that brief moment right there on that candle, or the other moving averages down over here, people are expecting it to just break out now, that it's bullish. Well, that's just one signal. There are multiple others, and structurally, this was still the high and remained the high. So this one was lower than that, maintaining the downtrend, and that's why we saw lower lows. So the primary path it's on is bearish. The bearish path should continue lower into lower lows, lower than this eventually. But of course, there's going to be these temporary periods where it starts climbing back up. And then during those periods, it's trying to climb back up. If it does recover certain levels, it puts it in the realms of possibility of changing the trend once again. So how do we get into that realms of possibility of changing the trend? Not only does it need to recover the moving averages, 89 to 93, it must take out 112. By recovering 95, 96, and the moving averages, that move should start into there. Well, we don't know if it's going to be recovered, right? Could just reject and head into new lows. So there's a lot of steps to go. At least for now, we don't have to think too far ahead into the future. Let's focus on the here and now. And that's all dependent on Bitcoin breaking through and closing the daily above that. If it does so, you're going to see the market as a whole pumping, and that's where you'll see Quant running back into 89 to 93, and that is just naturally, we'll expect a rejection because that's where Bitcoin will run into final moving average resistance. People are going to think if it recovers that it's bullish. No, a load of highs that still need recovering. Yes, it's a very good signal, precursor signal, but needs to develop and be consistent with following the bullish path. Can't just deviate once again, can't just recover the moving averages and then lose them again. So it needs to sustain, needs to be consistent, break above, hold, find another resistance. If it falls back down, hold it, don't lose it. It needs to hold it, keep trying. So right now at the final support, it has got a reversal, and that's why Quant is also doing so. It's at that level of resistance it needs to break. Quant is approaching that. It's got space and room for another move up. Pumping up into there doesn't change the fact it's bearish. It's still lower than the previous high. So it has every right to continue lower from there. If we start to see this area held as support, and I'd look for this to be recovered. If that is recovered, we get that next push into 110, 112. So that is tradable there on any altcoin, not just Quant. But long way to go. I will make videos as it develops. At least for now, what I was saying in my last quant videos is that I was expecting the rejection from here. That could still happen because in this video, I've only said if Bitcoin breaks the 200 EMA. I haven't said if it doesn't. So if it doesn't, of course, this is going to be where Quant gets rejected at. So, which is right over here. So keep your eyes on Bitcoin. Watch my Bitcoin videos. I really urge you to do so. If you want to learn more about Bitcoin, take the one-to-one mentorship options, or if you want further analysis, or want to enter my group workshops, check out the Discord community. We're also going to be finding a whole bunch of like-minded people in there as well.